Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we have a quite a doozy bit of a video and it's quite weird. Basically one of my subscribers sent me a link, and when I tapped on that link it took me to KABAM blog where we typically have the new champion spotlights and announcements for the upcoming month. And what I saw was Gambit champion spotlight reworked. Now the weird thing about it is that obviously if you just search the blog, it is not appearing there, but if you tap on the link that somebody sent me, it is right there on KABAM's their own blog, and we have a champion spotlight. So what I suspect is that somebody has already written all of this up. It's just not quote-unquote being made visible or published or whatever. But either way, since now seemingly accidentally we have the details of Gambit's buff, we might as well talk about them, right? Now there are some quite interesting things about Gambit, like he's going to be able to stack stun debuffs, and that's going to give him more bonuses and stuff like that. And he's still going to have largely the same mechanics, which I'm going to be honest, I don't overly enjoy that kind of like dash back, hold, block kind of thing to charge those promises. But maybe with all of the boosts and buffs, it's gonna feel a little bit more natural. So we have his stats. Seemingly, his prestige, I think, has gotten upped quite a bit now. And this time, we're gonna go through like all of the abilities. So Gambit's updated kit now lets him counter taunts by ignoring the damage he would take from taunt type of abilities. That's quite interesting. Now we have special damage. Gambit has a huge amount more prowess now, as well as stacking his prowess faster for stronger specials than ever before. So he's gonna have more potent prowesses, and he's also gonna have a bleed resist, which is gonna be quite interesting. Weaknesses will be stun immune champions and nullified champions, but let's actually start with his abilities now. Gambit charges his weapons while holding block, gaining a kinetic charge every 0.4 seconds. Kinetic charges build up more slowly as Gambit accumulates more of them. Max charge is 10. Developer note, Gambit has the same base timer for building his kinetic charges, but they do not slow down nearly as much as they used to, and he should be able to hit the cap of 10 much faster now. So that is good, because it was hard to get past 6 or so, especially if AI was aggressive. Now, when charging a heavy attack, Gambit cashes out, converting his kinetic charges to prowess buffs, each increasing special damage by 40%. And now this is like a significant increase, because it used to be like 5 or 10% or something like that. So now he will in total be able to stack up to 400 increased special damage. So that's basically kind of like I think Sunspot with 4 Sunspot with like 4 of his charges up. So that is quite significant increase in attack. 400 special attack bonus is quite chunky. So if you do get that, special attacks could potentially deal quite a lot of damage. Now that Gambit's prowess is gained on charging heavy attack, instead of hitting it, you can parry heavy charge and cancel it into a special attack. That's also quite cool change. You will not have to land that heavy attack. And now we're going to talk about stun debuffs. Each stun debuff on the opponent reduces regeneration rate and combat power rate by 40% while active. And this is quite significant, because now Gambit will be able to heal reverse, I believe, because if you stack up 2 stun debuffs, so let's say parry stun and 1 more stun, that's already 80% reduction from these. But also if you have max despair, that would give you another 30% reduction, so you would already be able to reverse opponent's regeneration with 2 stun debuffs only. And also reducing combat power rate is quite huge, because that means you could potentially keep more stun loops going and just be a lot more aggressive. So that is certainly something that we'll have to test and play about. All stun debuffs currently on the opponent are paused for the duration of Gambit's special attacks, and that is just awesome, because you will have a chance to increase the uptime of those stun debuffs. So I do like that a lot. Don't know. It's combined Gambit's new abilities found here with on his heavy charge prowess and parry to stack stuns and tons of damage against your opponent. So it does look like he's going to be quite hard hitting champion under the circumstances. Now this bit I don't quite understand, but these attacks utilize a burst of kinetic energy, reducing the amount of damage the opponent can deal with passive effects when being struck by 100% for 0.2 seconds. So you're gonna have some damage reduction there. I think that is the mechanic that I mentioned when you can bypass taunts and stuff like that. So basically, when you strike opponent with a medium attack, heavy attack, special 1 or special 2, basically you take no passive damage back against electrons, nodes like that. So that could be kind of like a very cool piece of utility that would be quite similar to way Omega Red's tentacle attacks behave. So they are definitely giving him some nice amount of utility there. And then we're going to talk about his flak jacket. Gambit begins each fight with a flak jacket charge, which is lost once Gambit has taken 15,000 attack damage. Tech Champion's attack damage counts as double for this purpose. While flak jacket is active, Gambit gains a 1400 armor rating, and incoming bleeds suffer minus 150% potency. So he's kind of gonna become pseudo bleed immune, and with that he could actually have much better interaction with suicide masteries, and he likely is going to be able to take a lot of different like bleed nodes. And the fact that it's minus 150% potency definitely also helps to counter nodes where you see opponents have increased abilities or increased bleed potency. So yeah, that is quite cool. I do like that. Against non-contact physical attacks, the flak jacket provides an additional 1400 armor rating and critical resistance. So that's nice. Some crit resistance and armor make him a bit tankier. Now, special attacks. If opponent does not have an armor buff, all hits gain 20% ability accuracy. And with that, it would mean that all of these attacks have guaranteed ability triggers. So you don't really seemingly want to use Gambit against champions with an armor buff, just because there is a chance your abilities could fail. Now, special attack 1, 85% chance to inflict stun for 2.5 seconds. So that's pretty much as it was. But remember, now stun debuffs are paused for the duration of special attacks. So that could be quite neat. And special attack 2, this attack has 85% chance to inflict a concussion debuff, reducing ability accuracy by 85% for 13 seconds. The potency of this effect is affected by class relationships. So skilled champions likely go up to 100%, and tech champions I think are going to fall down to 30%. But here's going to be the kicker, the special attack 3. This attack has 85% chance to inflict up to 2 5-second stun debuffs. So with this one, you will be able to basically have 3 stun debuffs on the opponent, and at that point he also should not gain power. If anything, I believe he should lose power. And you can have regen completely reversed, and you're going to be able to do quite a lot of stuff, because 5-second stun duration plus the stun duration increase you get from Stupefy Mastery should extend that quite a bit as well. And there could be some interesting stuff this special 3 can do with that unique mechanic Gambit has with stacking stuns and reducing regeneration, reducing combat power rate. Now, signature ability, Raging Cajun, always active. Prowess buffs now also grant Gambit 110 critical damage rating. So if you get 10 prowess, you have 1,000 1100 basically critical damage rating. That's a solid bonus. Additionally, his flak jacket is upgraded to allow it to absorb additional 6000 attack. So definitely awakened ability doesn't seem like it's going to be an absolutely mandatory thing to have for Gambit, but it also looks like it will definitely have its benefits. Now, synergy bonuses, I don't see any overly interesting synergies. There's nothing kind of like too special, just your like base set synergies. And then recommended masteries, Petrify, just to extend the, just to reduce regeneration rate even further with your stun debuffs, and Precision just to crit more. So overall, I'm gonna leave a link, this link in the video description below, so you guys can go through all of the abilities yourself. But what do I think about Gambit and his buff? Well, I think his abilities aren't changed too much. He does get quite significant improvements in terms of utility. the fact that he's going to be able to bypass the passive damage sources of like Electros and some other abilities, that is quite cool. He should be a really good core counter now as well, because yeah, he shouldn't be taking any passive damage back from Korg when you hit him in with like mediums, heavies, or special attacks. Electro, and then we have like other stuff like Psychitons or what have you. So he's gonna have some more utility. How practical it is going to be to use him, we're definitely gonna have to see how big of a payout is when you drop that big level 2 on 10 prowess charges, or how hard the level 3 potentially can hit, and how long can you kind of like utilize that stun reduced combat power rate, and how far you can push the opponent. I don't think Gambit is gonna be a must-have champion or a must-rank champion if you have him, but I do think that with these abilities he's going to be able to answer some of the matchups that mutants typically don't really have a counter to. Like, mutants don't really have a regeneration reversal kind of stuff going on for them, and Gambit will be able to reverse regen. That means Gambit should be able to cheese stuff like aggression regeneration, or just overall be a very solid counter to many different nodes that involve large amounts of regeneration. Additionally, most of his abilities seem to have been streamlined. I do look forward to testing him out myself. I do have like a 6-star unduped Gambit as well. Don't think he's quite a rank 2 or 3 candidate from what I'm reading here, but perhaps if all of the numbers come well together, he could be a real damage tank. Hopefully, maybe. Not too sure, but anyways, let me know what you guys think, how Gambit will turn out. I once again will leave the link of this ability called Champion Spotlight in the video description below. And please do remember that my channel is currently trying its hardest to push to 30,000 subscribers. So if you could hit that sub button, if you could ask your alliance mates, friends, and everybody else to come and support the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.